Hey kids, here's Frau Miles with your homework video. We're going to learn next time in class how to use possessive adjectives correctly. You already know two possessive adjectives. They're mein and dein, meaning my and your. You learned them in phrases like when we asked, Wie ist dein Name? And you answered, Mein Name ist Frau Miles. Of course, you put your own name or you'd sound ridiculous. So all you did was change the D in dein, meaning your, to the M for mein, meaning my. But now sometimes you asked other questions where you used deine instead of dein, or you answered with meine instead of mine. And we talked a little bit about why, but that's what you're going to learn and be able to talk about next time in class. So the first thing you have to know is that mein means my. If you want to say my, your root word is mein. If you want to say your root word is dein. That's the basics, and really you should already know that. Now, when do you add an ending? When do you say meine or deine? You pretty much learned that when you had a female person you were talking about, like Deutschlehrerin, because that is a female German teacher, you added an E. So that's one time, but that's not the only rule for it. So if you look at the chart on the screen, you'll see that if you have a der word, you don't add an ending. So where der word like Hund, you don't add any ending. If you want to say my dog, you just use the root word, mein Hund. If you want to say your dog, dein Hund. There's no ending at all. You just use mein and dein. So the next one you see is das. It also has no ending. So if you have the word Buch, book, it's das Buch. If you want to say my book, you're going to say mein Buch. If you want to say your book, you're going to say dein Buch, because the word Buch is das, and there's no ending for it. You just use the root word mein or dein. But the next word is die, and the first one is singular, like die Schultasche. So here you'll see that the ending is E. So if you want to say my school bag, you have to add the E onto the end of the root word mein and say meine Schultasche. If you want to say your school bag, you say deine Schultasche. That's pretty much all there is to it. If it's a D word, you add an E. The last one on there is a D word, but it's plural. In this case, it really doesn't matter if it's singular or plural. If it's a D word, you're going to add an E to the root word of mein or dein and make it meine or deine. So if we're talking about, instead of das Buch, let's make it plural, die Bücher. You would say mein Buch for just one book, but meine Bücher for plural books, because instead of das Buch, you change it to die Bücher. So it's meine Bücher. If you want to talk about your books, because it's plural, you'll say deine Bücher. So anytime there's a D word, you're going to add an E to the end of your root word, mein or dein. If it's not a D word, don't add any ending and just use mein or dein. And that is pretty much it.